I gotta come up with a recommendo.
Yeah, you might want to.
You better hustle. You only have
many
to figure
Right.
it out.
It's like
T
3
for
hours.
Threats. Hi, Obsidian Phoenix. Hi, Frilled
What
Shark.
about
Hi,
I keep
WrestleMania
on
this
running a
weekend?
list, so
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
hello to everybody watching on Twitch or wherever you're watching.
There's better wrestling for me to watch
I
this
know,
weekend.
but it's kind of a tradition, right?
Yeah, I might watch it, but I'm just
You don't have to call me a name just because you're not watching it.
I'm just
yeah,
kind of
but
I might watch
upset
it,
about
but
it.
I got your butt. Got your nose too.
give it back.
my ears are plugged from trying to swallow.
All right,
You don't
let's
have
get this
to
thing
swallow.
going. See, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen tonight.
Well,
You
as if
are.
You don't
How do you
know.
think we feel?
Yeah, as if you don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, you never know.
It's right here in the script. Uh-oh.
It's blank script.
Page 17, guys. Page 17.
It can't always be 17.
Let's do this thing.
It's where I always put my notes.
Ixnay on the Oginte.
Welcome to the Lovecraft Tapes podcast. This is Case 13, Iris. I am Jeremy, keeper of arcane lore, and we play Call of Cthulhu, a role-playing game filled with cosmic horror, existential dread, and so many writhing tentacles that even certain purveyors of peculiar fetishes would be like, whoa, 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 hold on now. That should not go there. Your investigators of the unknown are Gabe as Roy.
I'm announcing my run for local government tonight, but I didn't really prepare a speech.
That's too bad. Matt as Rocky.
I'm announcing my run into Mordor because one does not simply walk.
That is wise words. And Brian as Pippa.
I got the runs.
So much running.
Right into Mordor.
Nowhere to go. All right. Well, welcome back, players. How's everybody doing tonight? We had a couple, I guess we had like 1 or 2 weeks off, didn't we?
4, I think.
4 weeks? 4 weeks?
11.
1 week off?
Yeah,
This
one.
is the first
17.
time
These poor
that I'm
bastards had to
here.
listen to me talk and read stories.
Case 1, tape 2. Got it.
Nice. Well, I'm just
Could be
drinking
worse.
some tea.
Could be case 0, tape 2.
Oh, yeah. Or Gabe's never finished episode.
One shot test that we did.
One shot
That was
test.
so
No, you're
much
good.
fun.
We're just gonna
I
stop it
want
there.
to finish it.
I was playing
One day.
Kree from
One day, maybe.
Overwatch, and it was a good
Finish him.
time.
All right. Well, listeners, if you would like to write us a love note or hate mail, send us a letter from beyond on our website at lovecrafttapes.com. And guess what? We do have a couple fresh letters from beyond to read tonight. It's about time. So thank you to
Fresh Letters of Bel Air.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, fuck.
I had to.
Don't
All right.
date the episode.
Oh yeah. Oops. Oops.
Well, I mean, we are recording on the 30th, so shit.
This is damn it. 2020. Oh, damn it. All right. First letter from Jamie, who says, "Hey guys, been listening to your podcast over the last 2 years during work. Really takes the edge off of my factory job when I'm not in the mood for music. Just finally got to chapter 13, that's this one, and can't wait to hear where this all goes. And the character I actually miss the most is Detox.
Oh.
I thought she would have been great, but after she left, I picked Jack as favorite. I miss both characters and wish all current ones fun times. Can't wait for Roy to go batshit insane. I hope the message reaches you in your dimension."
Yeah. I hope it's not a factory job where you're stamping metal and listening to our podcast. Do 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 crunch.
I also miss Detox.
Yeah.
I had fun
Also
playing
miss
for that
Jack.
character.
I don't.
I did miss the fishing scene though.
The voice
that
of
was
dissent. Nice. Cool. Well, thank you, Jamie. Appreciate that
Thank you.
feedback. Always fun to hear that.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we liked you.
You're all right.
Also, we did get a review on Apple Podcasts from Harold Winter 2022, who I think we know who that is.
No
Harold
clue
Winter.
I
whatsoever.
believe that is our new old one supporter, Harold, I
Ooh.
believe, who says,
Winter.
excellent podcast, 10 out of 10, but 5 stars. How's that work?
Math.
They
Matt,
are equal.
10 out of 10 whats?
this podcast ticks all the boxes for me.
Tentacles.
The Cthulhu mythos is sprinkled in just right by the genius keeper, that's me, alongside a cast of funny, experienced players' friends, that's you. I hope to see it succeed further and go from strength to strength in the future. Oh, well, got bad news for you. Very little manages to hold my attention this long these days, but every time I put this on in the car, I'm transported away into the story. You guys rock. Thanks for everything.
That was very, very nice.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
No,
Harold.
no, no. Thank
love when
you,
people lie.
Harold Winter 2022.
No, thank you.
You're so good looking.
So good.
You are so good looking.
All right. Before we, I'm sorry. This show is brought to you in part by our generous fans and supporters on patreon.com/Lovecraft Tape. So, tip of the hat for you guys out there, keeping us in junior mints. That's my full.
A lot of
budget
people
for
don't
junior
know
mints.
this, but takes a hell of a lot of energy to constantly open this portal from the Mat Void. Patreon money goes towards supporting the nuclear power plant that's sitting right outside that keeps this thing running.
Look,
This
your
is not
toilet
the
is not a
Olympics.
power plant, dude. We've talked about this.
Sure.
Oh, that's what you think.
I call it Cherry Noble.
Ooh.
Ooh, ow. All right, before we begin, we need to take a quick commercial break. So let's roll some Sweet D and see what happens. I got a
Let's not say we did.
51. Gabe got an 81.
79.
And Matt, so guess what? It is Gabe selling the mat.
Sugar.
Wow.
Wow.
No, I sold that the last time I did a commercial.
Okay,
Remember?
Gabe, and I don't want to tell you what to do, but start out easy. Like, I don't know, hey, you.
Hey, you.
Hey, you.
What,
Standing-
are you talking to me?
You.
Me?
You.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, and.
And scene.
So you,
And
I
that's
can
our
tell.
commercial.
I can tell that you use the words "hey you" a lot, probably equally as much as I do.
Well, dictionary.com did say that my top 2 words last year were hey and you. So I don't know how you knew that, but congratulations, you're right.
Well, I got a pretty. This is a kind of wild and crazy product that might help you. I know that we've sold a lot of wacky things in the past, but this might be the wackiest. I'm not gonna lie. Are you ready for this?
Hey, you might just have me. Ah, shit, I did it again.
You ever heard of a thesaurus?
Is that some sort of giant lizard from the Paleological era?
No, it's a book.
Hey, you expect me to read? Ah, fuck, I did it again.
Well, so that's what this product is. It's a thesaurus.
Buy it.
I've never read it, but I figured maybe you could.
Hey, you might be able to. Oh, god damn it, not again.
All right, so hey, you're gonna
Oh,
go.
see how you're doing it too.
You're gonna open.
It's
Let's do
contagious.
this together. We can beat this.
Hey, you
you
think
go
we
to
can't? Oh,
page.
god damn it.
Hey, you go to page 18 for the H's. Look,
Hey,
it
you
says
really
right.
think there are only like 20 pages in this thing?
Hey, it's just an H and a Y thesaurus. If you want more letters than that, you're gonna have to pay the big bucks.
Hey, you think they just published one with all the words together, but who am I to say I'm not in marketing?
Hey, I'm trying to make some money here, and this is the best way to do it.
Hey, I don't blame you. We all need a little bit of that cha-ching, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you. Okay, we're gonna get back on track. We're gonna go and we're gonna find hey. So you could be saying something like hello. That's stupid. But I'm not. You gotta buy for more than that.
Oh, really? How many other? Hey, you know, if you can tell me how many other hey alternatives I get in this thesaurus.
Hey, it's kind of unlimited. That's the beauty of this thesaurus. You'll notice that hey might have been on page 18, but this is a 6,000 page book.
Wow. Hey, you think that's a lot of pages? I feel like that's a lot of pages.
Hey, you. This bit is getting kind of old.
You know what? Hey, you're right. I'll take it. How much?
Hey, you. For you?
For me.
For you?
Hey, you. Yeah, me.
$79.95. 3 installments.
Hey, you got yourself a deal. Here's my social security number, the name of my first pet, the street and where I grew up, my mother's maiden name.
Hey, you didn't have to give me all that, but it was a class act of you to do so.
Hey, I just trust you. You seem like you're a good person.
I am. You aren't, though. Bye.
Woof. And we're back. What'd you guys think of that product under service?
Hey, I loved it.
Hey,
was-
It worked.
It's not bad. Oh, fuck.
It was a funny idea, and then it fell apart and was boring.
Kind of like the Oscars. Oh.
Oh.
Stop dating the episode.
Yeah, you perv.
Every time you tell me to not date the episode, I'm just going to date the episode. You should know this by now.
Well, you are single.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at one time,
Look me up on Tinder.
I was deeply in
Grindr.
love with that product under service. So much so that I showed up at its doorstep one night, pretending I was a trick-or-treater, playing Bauhaus cassettes on my Radio Shack boombox, while I used poster board signs to convey my true feelings. Unfortunately, I chose October 31st to do this, so about 50 other kids showed up, fully costumed, and pushed me down, taking all my hard-earned candy. Now I can't even think about that product under service without PTSD flashbacks of blood mingling with bite-sized Snickers, while the mocking lyrics of Bela Lugosi's Dead drone on and on.
I liked that one.
Because of Bauhaus?
Yeah.
It's not a brick house, though.
I'm pretty easy to get to like that.
I like Radio Shack.
I was actually angling for Phoenix there.
You like what?
A little bit. Playing it.
What's a radio?
Radio
What's a
Gaga.
shack?
I'm pretty sure Shaq was that guy who played football, right? Was that him?
No, he's a genie. You don't know.
Kazam.
Kazam. All right,
No,
before
it's Kung
Shazam.
Fu, I think.
Kazafoo. Before we venture forward, let's briefly review your Diary of the Dead.
I don't want to.
Man.
Don't want to. All right, so yeah, basically, let's start at the top. Tell me about your objectives and what you found out so far, because you kind of have an idea what the artifact is now. Pretty good idea, I think.
Yeah, what happened? It's a
What kind of weapon? What kind of weapon, bro?
Weapon against the dog people. What were they called? The dog. Not a ghoul. What were they?
No, they're ghouls, of course.
Are
I
they
think
ghouls?
they were referred to as flesh-eating gut munchers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe that was
right.
one of the phrases I
Oh.
wrote.
That sounds right.
No, oh, sorry, I blanked out at that point. That's what the bullies used to call me in middle school.
But that's a compliment. Why would they do that?
And
So we don't have it, of course. On
correct,
us.
yes, you
Yeah.
guys do. Actually, nobody does.
We
Nobody
have
Nobody
a
does.
in
Well,
us.
someone has it. We just don't know who.
Well, you don't know that someone has it. It could just be sitting there.
No. He jumped out of the window with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now he's dead and no one has
someone
it.
pulled up
And
and
then
grabbed it.
and he went.
Did
No,
they?
one of the dog things.
thing came out. Yeah.
The dog
Okay.
thing
I
ran
thought
out of the
sure.
alley and snatched it from him before I could get to him because I tripped
Yes.
and fell.
Right.
Boy, that was a
Because
that
I
was a good
have
episode
2.5
on
left
Netflix.
feet.
And that is the reason why Rocky has essentially gone back to the Odebrati studio, because he figures that this thing is being delivered to her.
Right.
Because she wanted it. She was the one who wanted it.
But then the door
And
was
then
left
immediately
open,
disappeared.
and the place is in a little bit of shambles.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff's moved around like it's been searched.
And
Yep.
there's a box at the back next to an easel.
Correct. Yep. So let's stick to the objectives. So we kind of know what the artifact is, right?
Mhm.
You, or at least you assume you know.
Yep.
Based on testimony from Maria and from what you guys have found out in the diary. And so the second question is, where was Charles going to meet Samantha in New York City?
Yeah.
And I think you have a good understanding of that now. And also, where is he hiding out? Well, he was hiding out.
He's like
Yeah.
Bela Lugosi now.
Yep, pretty much. So
Sucks.
yeah. So I believe that is kind of you guys have, I think, have a pretty good idea of what is sort of going on.
Yep.
And the only
What
question
happened to the penny that was glued to the floor?
yeah. And so
No, seriously, T Flip Rex wants to know what
I
happened
know,
to the penny
I
that
know
was
he
glued on the
does.
floor.
Well, T Flip Rex will have to use that for the Q&A episode.
Bum bum bum.
Lodge it as an official question.
But the very last thing I see in your Diary of the Dead that you wrote was Windflower.
Name of the leader of the group of whatever.
Leader of the pack.
Yes.
Yes. And actually, Windflower was mentioned in Charles's diary.
Yep.
That the journal at the close of the last session, Roy read that aloud.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's where we're going to pick up, essentially. And so let's do it, shall we?
Yep.
I'll put it
I mean,
down.
we could not say we did.
Now, dear investigators, we play Case 13, Tape 10. The ground is sour. Previously on the Lovecraft tapes. As any seasoned investigator can tell you, splitting the party yields twice the results in half the time. With those marching orders firmly in hand, Roy and Pippa take a wrong turn somewhere in the subway system, coming face to face with a creepy canine that pans out to be anything but. Meanwhile, Rocky makes a hasty retreat back to Hotel Odebrati, just in time to witness Tomislav's tragic betrayal, and another gray dog man abscond with the mystical scepter. Gadzooks! Will this be the last train out for Choo Choo and the gang at the abandoned 76th Street station? Will anything truly easel Rocky's mind after witnessing that terrible photograph at DBRT Studio? Lean forward ever so carefully, gentle listeners, and strain to hear as we pull back the sheet to reveal even more horror.
Zoinks.
Rocky,
Yes.
you stand before the image of Charles Blaine, knowing full well it depicts his last living moments, captured for all eternity on photostock as he is being eaten alive by Marigold Odebrati and some enormous hairless dogman creature with gray mottled skin and a strangely human blood-smeared smile. In fact, that face bears an uncanny similarity to someone else. Who was it? With a shock of revelation, your mind conjures up the case files you reviewed long ago from the Contented Cow incident. One of the missing guests had been later identified as none other than Jason Windflower, a serial killer cutting a swath across the country and who tried to pin his crimes on Charles Blaine. There was no mistake. This ghoul bore too striking a resemblance to that madman. Even as your brain attempts to collate this new information, your shaking hands foretell a nervous instability even now taking hold of your overloaded system. I'm going to need you to have to roll sanity right off the bat, please.
Oh, damn, son. There it is.
Nice.
I needed a 56. I rolled a 44.
All right, so you
Which is a
will take
success.
1 point of sanity damage.
Oh, man, now I'm at
as-
55.
What the heck?
The
It's
fuck?
going down, bish. So yeah, you stand and go ahead and explain how you react to this in a relatively minor way, just physically or mentally.
As soon as I make the connection between the Contented Cow and Jason and the photograph, I'm just going to unconscious or subconsciously just start slowly leaning closer and closer and closer to his face in the photograph until my nose is touching it and I'm just like laser eyed on his face. And then takes me a second and then I finish and I realize what I'm doing and I like take a couple of steps back and brush myself off and pretend like nothing happened.
So we'll also add to that as you lean closer and closer, you begin to hear these screams echoing, just like in your dream the other night.
Oh, schnitz.
And you're laser focused not on Jason Windflower's face, but on Charles's pain-racked face. His mouth hanging open, his eyes glazed, but still quite alive. And it seems as if this ghostly wail is emanating from the black hole of his throat. And that's when you clench down with your iron will and push yourself back from the photograph. And a hand clamps on your shoulder. And Maria says, "Are you okay? Rocky, you don't look so well."
Just a little bit of the past coming back to haunt the present, I guess you could say.
And she looks over your shoulder at the photograph, and you hear her gasp as she takes in the sight, and she mumbles under her breath, "Oh, Charles, oh my God."
Well, unfortunately, I believe there's nothing we can do for him here. What we can do, however, is find that artifact and stop whatever has been started. That's usually how these things go.
And while you're saying all of this, Maria's hand has gone from your shoulder down to essentially hold your hand. And she's sort of clenching on as if she needs an anchor. And then you hear something go. And it's coming from the crate directly behind the easel. It's an oversized shipping crate. Perhaps 15 by 10 feet and 9 feet tall.
Going to slide the easel off to the side, and I'm going to try and get a little closer to the flash. Let's see if I can't like shine the flashlight through maybe a couple of cracks in some of the boards and see if I can't get at least a little bit of a glimpse of what's inside.
So you creep up to the crate holding your flashlight, or are you using a phone? I can't remember.
I had when I walked in, I had my gun in one hand and my phone in the other.
Okay,
so
got it.
I could illuminate.
Okay, so you've got
Hello?
your phone. Your phone is the source of light, and you're running it over to the side of the crate, which is well built shipping crate. So there aren't any gaps in the wood.
Okay.
However, you do get to one side, the end, and see that something peculiar. It's hinged. The panel at one end is hinged.
Hmm.
And there is a hasp towards the far end, the part closest to the wall, that has been thrown open as if the lock had been removed. And it is actually the panel that is hinged is slightly open a crack. And you hear another from within.
I'm going to quickly step to the open end of the crate and just push it back shut and lean up against it.
Okay.
You see, Maria, anything heavy? Generally, when something like this shows up in a crate and it starts making moaning noises, you don't want it to get out.
And
I'd say something about Tuscaloosa, but I don't like to think about what happened in Tuscaloosa.
she says, well, what about that? And points a couple feet away along the wall.
All right, do you think you can slide that over here to me, or do you want to hold the door?
Oh, well, I mean, it's just right next to you. So you turn and look at what she's pointing at. And it's a sledgehammer.
Oh, I was hoping it was a feather.
Right. I mean, I guess I could lean it up here, but there's no telling if that's actually going to help. You see, like I said, these moaning things, never a good thing, you know.
What if it's somebody who needs our help?
You know, I'll have to have Roy tell you a story about the same time he said that to me, and it didn't turn out so nice.
I hear somebody's air just kicked on or something.
Yep.
It's not me.
All right.
But just for you, I'm going to, like, if you insist, I'm going to open as small of a crack in that side as possible and try and peek in to see what's inside.
And the crate is empty, except it appears that the bottom has been removed, and this is a facade to cover a manhole. The iron lid has been misplaced sidelong, as if somebody exited down the manhole quite hurriedly.
Well, I think I figured out where my artist friend disappeared to. I'm going to swing it open.
You swing the crate open, and indeed, that's what you see is there's a manhole cover there. It's looks like it had been tried to have been dragged back over, but whoever it was gave up and just went down.
Half of me is telling me just to close that up, but we all know that's not going to happen. So I'm going to walk over and pull the manhole cover all the way off.
And you see the manhole with some rungs heading down.
You want to go down first, or should I?
Well, I think whatever we need to do, we should probably do it quickly. If she's on her way to Jason with the artifact, to Windflower with the artifact, we probably need to stop them before they get there.
Right. In that case, Helonzi. Then I'm going to scramble down the ladder, down the rungs, through the manhole into what I'm assuming is a sewer or some sort of infrastructural type tunnel.
So you clamber down the rungs, and after about 20 feet, you hit ground, and Maria's coming right above you. And so you're watching her to make sure that she's not going to fall down. She actually seems pretty able for someone who's a bit older than even you are. And as you do so, you hear directly behind you shuffling, and someone go,
I'm going to make sure that I get either her behind me or immediately in between her and that sound, and I'm going to, once again, gun up over my phone with flashlight pointing towards the noise.
And so you whirl around before Maria can even get down. She's about halfway down. And you see Diamond Dave. His eyes have been plucked out. His hand, as you well know, is missing. There are bite marks all over his naked body. And he has been shackled to one wall of this small chamber. And he opens his mouth and emits that horrible moaning sound, showing you the stump of his tongue where it used to be.
Oh, I'm so sorry I got you into this.
And we'll switch to Roy and Pippa.
He was just trying to say, someone's in here.
You stand before the corpse of Charles Blaine, knowing full well he lived his last moments on this earth, strapped to a chair, helpless, as something gnawed on his flesh. As the journal clearly spells out, Blaine had been tracking Jason Windflower after that sadistic criminal framed him for the contented cow crimes. But something obviously went wrong. Did Windflower, now some sort of ghoul king, get the drop on Charles? Or did Marigold Odabrati lure the investigator to his ultimate doom? Without a doubt, he died screaming in this lost and lonely railway station, hoping someone, perhaps his daughter, might save him at the last minute. It did not happen. What pain, what terror he must have felt. You shiver at the prospect even as you cast fearful glances around the room, trying unsuccessfully to calm your shattered nerves. I'm going to need both of you to make a sanity roll, please.
I don't wanna.
I needed a 73. I rolled
Oh.
a 5. Oh.
I did a 49. I got a 99. That's a fumble.
All right, so Pippa, you're going to take 1 point of sanity damage. Okay. Roy, you fumbled. So I'm going to quickly look up and see if there's any rules for that, because my inclination is to simply assign the maximum. But I do want to just double check to see if there is.
I mean, doesn't the extreme and the fumble just cancel each other out and everybody's happy?
Exactly. Everybody's fine.
That's how it works, right?
You know what sucks is I'm down to 71.
Oh, shit.
It's only a roll. Why does everyone have to be so mad?
Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and assign you the maximum on this. So that is going to be 6 points lost.
That's big oof energy right
That's
there.
big
folks.
oof energy. So if you lose 5 or more in one roll, I need you next to make an intelligence roll.
I failed it.
Okay.
I did a 50. I got a 58.
So if you fail your
Woof.
intelligence, you repress the memory.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. And so that's basically that. You repress the memory. So, and basically it says nothing happens.
Until it does.
Right. So you don't have any immediate problems other than the loss of sanity. So it's just as if like it didn't even happen. So I think what we'll
What's that leave you with, Gabe?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
43.
Oh, you got plenty.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's
No.
not great.
So basically, all he sees is a trench coat hooked around the back of a chair.
Well, yeah, that's what we're going to have to sort of figure out. So, the first thing is that Pippa, because you lost 1 point of damage,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to say that you are listening to Roy orate this letter, this journal that he found. And you're both realizing as he's reading it that this is indeed Charles Blaine. And you can quite clearly see that something had been gnawing on him and eating him alive.
Mm-hmm.
And that one of his feet, 1 foot, is missing.
Hmm.
And what does that remind you of, Pippa? It reminds you of the dream you had the other night, where was it Charles Blaine who ate your feet?
Hey, that's someone's fetish. We don't
Right.
shame around here.
There was a giant Charles Blaine who picked you up
Yeah.
and started to eat you.
Like a
feet
hot dog.
first. Yes, like a hot dog. And so that is exactly where your mind goes, back to that nightmare.
Like a glizzy.
And go ahead and tell me what your involuntary reaction is. Relatively minor, obviously.
I take a step back first off when I realize the whole situation, that it's him. And I'm constantly putting my 1 foot over top of the other to try to hide my feet. Just involuntarily.
Mm-hmm.
Just constantly putting 1 foot over the other and again and again and again. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I got it. All right, so yeah,
Thanks.
you're backing away slowly, doing this foot shuffle, sort of unconsciously trying to hide your feet. And what acerbates it even more is you begin to hear a dripping sound coming from potentially the restroom that you had encountered or had never gone into, but there was a sign that said restroom. But you can hear this echoing, dripping water. And that also reminds you of
Your immediate need to pee.
that too. But the nightmare, you also
Mustard.
had an element there where there was water filling up, trapping you.
I don't want to do this anymore.
What was the shape of that water?
The shape of the water. Roy, however, I don't know. What do you think, Gabe? How does Roy suppress this memory?
It's a
Start
really
making-
nice trench coat.
I'd turn the skeleton into a puppet and be friends with it.
Hello, my baby.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
So
know.
you would like immediately just even repress that this is Charles.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I would just convince myself that it's some rando.
So I envision Roy picking up the corpse and sitting down on the chair and putting it on his lap as if it were a ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Who are you, Jeff Dunham?
Do it.
Okay. So I'll.
So go
I
ahead.
was
Yeah, you're doing that.
joking. I was joking, but it's funny.
But
so-
I love this. Yeah, I love it. So give us your quick
Well,
routine
you
while
said it.
Pippa is backing away. How does Roy? What's the interaction between Roy and his new friend?
So I'll walk over to the chair and I'll grab him by the shoulders and pick him up and be like, "Hello, gorgeous," and then I'll put him on my knee and like up the back of his trench coat, sort of just like grab his head and have it bobbing, and be like, "So you know what the worst thing about working in a train station is? All the ribs that people keep laying on me." And then I'll just do a little routine, little dummy routine.
Nice.
Sing the "Hello, my baby, hello, my honey."
Hello, my good time gal.
And then after a minute or two of that, she'll, "Sheesh, tough crowd." And then I'll drop it and it'll sort of break apart.
Nice. So Charles Blaine goes skittering across the floor in pieces.
Rip in pieces, Charles. Rip in
Rip in
pieces.
pieces, baby. And Pippa, you witness all this horrific comedy routine or vaudeville routine. And how do you react to that to get Roy back to his senses?
I do a loud whisper. Roy, that was your friend.
I never met the guy.
That's Charles.
Charles who?
Nice.
In charge?
Yes,
Of the
it's
nights
Tony
and the
Danza.
days.
Tiny Danza.
Hold me close.
Hold me
Hold me closer, Tony Danza. Just start singing. Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Who's the boss?
Roy, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here.
If you say so. I mean, I'm
Bring the
done
letter.
here.
Bring the
Okay.
letter. Read
Which
it
letter?
again.
There are 26 of them.
Let's keep doing it. It's a continuous act.
All right, I'll just open a letter and read it.
It's a letter.
25th October 1999. Setting off for Horta after refueling.
Nice. Flashback. So you get
Flash mob.
Roy essentially as good as he's gonna get.
Yeah.
You can tell he's still a little twitchy. But he's doing his best to. It's almost as if once he dropped the corpse of Charles Blaine, it's now not a person. It's simply
Mm-hmm.
some items on the floor, some detritus, some old trash that is in his way, and he kind of kicks it. It goes skittering across the floor. And Pippa, you realize that you're both still bleeding pretty well from the attack
Oh, crap.
of the dogman back. And Choo Choo had sent you in here ostensibly to find a first aid kit.
Oh, yes.
And he
The real
said
reason.
probably the station manager's office, which is where you're at now.
Okay. I'm going to try to get Roy back on. I'm like,
And yeah, and he's back. He's back.
okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and I do have a map for you guys in Roll20. So we're going to go ahead
And
and
you say map?
I should
you
have
in
done
there.
Eddie Cantor. Would have been funnier.
Play Bueno.
So in this map, I've gone ahead and shown you the parts where you have been and can see. Okay.
Got it.
So obviously to the left, you came up the ramp from the train station rails.
Yeah.
That's basically where Choo Choo is waiting. Into the main door. And so to the south, if everything's just north, south, east, to the south is where the restroom was. That's where the sign is. Put a little beep there for you. This up here was the to the north is the section of sort of a chicken wire fence, right? And the turnstiles, right?
Oh, turnstiles. Yep.
Yep. But you'll see that there is a gate that's sort of like open and the padlock is missing, right?
Okay.
That's what we said last time. You guys went to the door, straight to the door that was marked as the manager's office here. And so where it says storage room is actually the manager's room.
Got it.
A station master's room. So that's where you are currently. The skull represents the remains of Charles Blaine.
Sorry, some
No, that's
jackass
not who
with a
that
loud car.
was.
All right,
So-
I'm going to notice the door to the north within the management room, the train room. And get Roy's attention. Come on. Let's go find this med kit.
Okay.
Pills here. And I start moving around his body.
Wait, you got some pills, man?
Oh, shit. You hold?
Your
Hold
sanity
still, I'll
goes up
patch
to
you up.
100.
I need to get Roy addicted to something soon.
Frogs.
Not not alcohol,
Flu.
dog.
Frogs.
He's already addicted to that.
Frogs.
Yeah, why did Roy sing the Michigan J Frog song? Think about it.
Think about it.
Key connection.
Because he's crazy. All right, so
I
what are you
mean, he
doing?
does have 43 whole sanity points left, so.
How
How crazy is he really?
I got Roy's attention, and I'm waving him over to go up into this room, and I'm going to start walking up into this room.
Okay. And the door is closed.
Oh, on the map it's open.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will try the handle.
And
That's
it opens
gone.
with a...
Okay, well then I will go, and then it opens.
I got one vote in the chat for Roy to be addicted to ketamine.
Oh,
Ooh.
God. Where was I today?
And in this room, you find ketamine.
Ketamine. So this is basically a machine room of sorts.
Okay.
It looks like there is some old electrical panels, that sort of thing.
Got it.
And there is a old school, very rusty first aid kit on the wall.
Nice. Where on the wall?
Wherever.
In the room. Okay. So just inside the door?
Sure. Or how about all the way at the back? How's that?
Oh.
Oh yeah. Now
Don't get too hung up on the spaces.
Roy, go get it.
And I'll go and just rub my hand all over the rusty parts and
This part's sharp and cutty.
Why I have lockjaw?
My hands feel like bleeding.
go grab it.
Your mouth tastes like burning.
So it's one of those old schools where it's like bolted to the wall, but you just unlatch
Yeah.
it, and inside you find some old but probably still good bandages, antiseptic. And it's actually quite a lot of it because this was probably used not only for the people who used to work here once upon a time, but also for potentially any passengers. So
Yeah.
it's pretty well stocked, actually. So at this stage,
Cool.
if you would like to perform some first aid, what you want to do is you have damage, healing, first aid, medicine, dying. You can perform medicine check. It requires 1 hour, which this is fine. We can actually take an hour. It's no big deal. And that could, if you pass the test, it is 1d3 hit points healed. Okay.
Okay.
You can also stack on top of that a first aid. So you can get 1 hit point on top of that. So what you
So I have to roll medicine? Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. There's two
Okay.
things. So medicine and first aid. Okay. It's up to you. And so basically what you want to do is just not, you don't want to fumble.
Okay.
Because if you fumble, then you may end up hurting the other person, I believe. I don't think there's any other problems with that because you guys aren't dying or anything. So, so yeah, you decide what you want to do. Like who's going to be applying the medicine, who's doing the medicine checks, who's doing the first aid checks.
I have a 1 in medicine. How about your
7,
1?
so I guess
5
it
is the
should be-
base. 5 is the base for any.
No, it isn't. It's 1.
No,
Is
it's
it 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I thought it was 5
Yeah.
for any unlearned.
1% for medicine.
Okay.
It's 5 for most of them, but
Most of
medicine
them,
and
yeah.
locksmith
Is that right?
specifically specify 1.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's not
anthropology.
fun.
I know. I have a 50 in first aid.
Yeah.
And
I have a
operate heavy
34.
machinery and psychoanalysis and electronics.
right.
Gotcha. So medicine.
Do
I
we
got
get
you
it,
0,
Matt?
1. Yeah, you're right. So
That's why
it's-
I was like, I got to
it's
roll
so
medicine.
skilled. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't remember ever rolling medicine.
There's no
before.
harm, and I mean you can still apply luck and or pushing the
Yeah.
roll.
The thing is, pushing the roll.
I'm going to push it. I'm
I
not even
can
going to roll it first. I'm just going to push it now.
Just push it now.
I have succeeded. I succeeded when I had a
So-
1 in medicine.
So let's go ahead and do this. So Pippa, why don't you do? We're just gonna do each other.
We'll just both do it. Oh.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. I don't think.
gonna
Or who's
do
got
me?
who's got the better first aid?
He has better first aid. I have better medicine.
Well, there you go. Just So let's go ahead and do medicine first because that's the big guy. So
Roll that 7.
so Gabe,
I need a
roll
7.
roll 1
I
for
got a
yourself
31.
and 1 for her, one for Pippa.
I need I need a 7. I got 31. I need a 7. I got a 32.
All right. So you gonna let those stand at all? No luck
Yeah.
applied. Okay.
I don't have enough luck to do anything.
All right. So.
Spend the luck.
And so really, Pippa, you could try medicine as well.
Yeah, I can't hurt unless I
Yeah,
fumble
yeah.
and then we die.
Exactly right.
No, then you
Awesome.
die.
So just
No,
don't
I'm
fumble,
doing
dude.
it to you first.
No, you're not.
I needed a 1. I rolled a 26.
Okay, yeah, that one's for me.
Ooh, I needed a 1. I rolled an 88.
Okay. So medicine's going to be a no-go. You just guys aren't as well versed in that. So let's go ahead and do first aid.
The fact that I have a 7 means I succeeded when I had a 1 at one point.
Can I roll a fast talk?
So
You're
first
gonna
aid for
cover.
both of us. I roll
So who's got
twice
first?
again?
Yeah. Just go ahead, Pippa. You start off with your first aid.
Okay. I need a 50. Rolled a 53. I will spend the luck.
Okay. So 3 points of luck to make that a success.
Yeah.
What's
Leaves
that
me
take
with
you down to?
39.
39 luck.
For me.
And it was that 1
Yeah.
point for Roy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Go ahead and give yourself a point back there, Roy. And then 1 for yourself, please.
1. I need a 50. I rolled a 17. That's very hard.
Very nicely
Oh
done.
no, that one's for me.
Yeah, well,
It's
it
still
won't
1
matter.
point.
It's still 1 point. Doesn't matter. So there you go. So you're healed up your 1 points.
Now Roy can do the same,
Hey,
correct?
Brian.
No more points for first aid.
Why?
Yeah, why?
You could stack medicine with that, but a first aid is a first aid, so you can't put like a band-aid on a band-aid.
Oh, okay, because yeah, she did both of us. I get it.
Excuse me.
Roy, try this ketamine. It'll help you feel better.
Go ahead and roll luck, and we'll make Roy do it.
Oh, you'll make Roy do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I had an 18. I got a 48.
Okay. I was gonna put something like codeine or something in there, but
Oh,
Ketamine.
you do have some aspirin. That's fine.
I have the Pomance pills, and I think I'll just take them. Thank you.
You could.
it's all one big pill at the bottom of the.
I'm not
It's all
crazy
melted.
enough.
Okay. Well, it's up to you. You're pretty crazy.
I'm pretty crazy, but not
What
quite.
what sanity level do you need to be before you take those pills?
Like one more point.
Just then, no.
Just then, something happens. And at that stage, we're gonna say, so you guys are basically spending an hour healing each other up, trying to patch each other up.
Hurting each other in the
poke, poke,
process.
poke.
Poke. Ooh, don't rip that. And we'll say that during this hour, Choo Choo comes
Got
in.
eaten. Oh,
and he doesn't look very good. You hear him come in through the door, the main door from the ramp, excuse me. And he joins you in the storage room. His face is gone sort of ashy gray.
It's gone.
You can tell that he's probably suffering from a heart condition of some sort.
Oh.
With your vast medicine skills.
Yes.
And
Quick, give him the po man's pills. Nothing will go wrong.
He needs some milk.
but he's not completely out of it. But he does come in panting a bit, and he's like, you guys find the first aid kit all right?
Yeah, do you know
see.
medicine?
No, I know how to flip tracks and all that, but jeez, no, I didn't pass that bar. But you guys look like you're patched up a little bit, and I guess that's going to be good because I'm pretty sure we got some company coming. I heard some noises, and there was some howling and whatnot.
Should we just barricade ourselves in here?
Well, I already barricaded the front door. I mean, that's the best we can do. I don't know what else we can do.
I don't know. Shut all these other doors.
If you look around and see if there's like any other place out of this hellhole.
Yeah, there's a broken fence door over by the turnstiles. I have not checked the bathroom yet, but I don't think we need to go in there. You got pee?
I got pee like every 5 minutes, so yeah, I went twice already out on the ramp.
Okay, fine. We'll wait.
I got that nice slope going, and it just ran straight down. It was nice. Nobody around. I just let it fly free. So good, so good.
On the third rail.
No, yeah, but well, yeah. I mean, there should be some stairs or something around here. Maybe we'll get lucky. They didn't close it all up.
Don't count on me getting lucky.
All right, as quietly as we can, let's work our way over to that area and go through that gate and see what we can find.
And I'll rip out my blowtorch and start.
He brings out his bag.
He pulls out the blowtorch and starts to go to work on the fence, and they just go through the gate. All right, so you guys walk into a larger area. And I'm going to reveal that to you real quick here.
Oh, no. Oh, I see.
That's what we're going through. It's right there.
That's what I thought.
And that should take care of that. So this is obviously the entrance to the subway station. And there's an old token booth just to the left there. And, of course, everything is dusty and dirty. The tiles are relatively clean and unblemished, but it's still been quite a long time. And Choo Choo is keeping up a sort of pattern. He's like, they closed this place down back in the I think it was 1948 or something like that. That's when this place was in operation. It's been a long time.
Matt snorting again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this place was, they opened it up, it was only open for like a month in 1948, and then it was a whole thing, you know. It was like basically the 75th and the 78th streets were extended in the early 50s to go one block further into Central Park, and so that the bus lines and the tourism and all that stuff. So they kind of closed these old stations, these other loops. In the mid-50s. And this one, I think, if I remember correctly, it was 1952 is when they sealed this place up for good. But, you know, maybe we could get lucky here and find some way out, back up to the surface. But, you know, I'll tell you a little secret here. They started restructuring this place a little bit. You know, they had the flow wasn't working or whatever, and so they decided to put the toll booth here, and then there's over the turnstiles here, and they actually had the ramp going in a completely different direction. But once they started doing some rejiggering of the walls and whatnot, they busted through one of the older walls, and they found a headstone. So it was like this old 1860s cemetery, and there was like some catacombs and shit. And,
whoa.
yeah, so they they had to close this place up for good. So all hush hush, of course. Everybody got paid under the table for that sort of thing. But as you can see here, like they did a really nice job in all of the detail, the architecture and whatnot, and it all went to waste.
Wow, so literally an ancient burial ground.
Yeah, back in the 1860s, I mean, it was every place, like there was a bunch of churches out this way. They kind of took and just raised all that stuff for Central Park when they put it in.
Yeah.
They didn't really care about moving some of the bodies.
Building on top
Some
of
they
everything.
did. Yeah, I mean, that's just, it's history,
Yeah.
It's old
So you're
school.
telling me they didn't build this city on rock and roll?
No. Well, rock
And bone.
and some guy named Raleigh. I don't know. Rock and Raleigh, I guess.
Just doesn't
Rockin'
roll
Robin.
off the tongue.
Rock and Robin. So,
Doodle-doo.
anyways, enough for the history lesson. We gotta figure someplace out of here.
All right, well, let's go to the next room so I can get the next lesson. So we're moving on up.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a good move.
Moving on
So yeah, to the northeast,
side.
you see stairs leading up, and sure enough, they head up to a landing.
I think this might be it, guys. Let's go.
Hey, Chooch, why don't you tell us about this
Chooch.
landing?
Well, I'm pretty sure this is where they would come into the station. So good. Thank God, maybe we could get out of this place.
There's no long history about this?
No, it's just a couple steps,
This tile was handcuffed.
Hey, young man, just slow down a bit so I can lean on you. Would you mind? I'm getting a little out of breath here.
Lean on me.
Of course.
And he leans on you as you go up the stairs and attain the landing, just to find that there's a blank concrete wall
Oh, fudge sucker.
cutting off the rest of the staircase.
Which makes sense. They closed it off.
Hold on.
Ah, shit. I was afraid this happened. There's no way we're getting through that. That's, they just poured concrete straight on down.
Why would they do that?
They didn't want any of those, like, urban explorers, spelunking around down here and whatnot.
Yet here we are, doing it anyway.
Yep, here we are, doing it for ourselves.
Doing it and doing it. And
I
doing
guess
it
we'll
well.
find another way.
All right, well, maybe, well, no, I mean,
What?
there's no way the elevator is going to be working. There used to be an elevator here.
Where?
It should be, well, I mean, probably right next to the stairs, don't you think?
When?
There was an elevator.
Well, it wouldn't be in the restroom, I'll tell you that much.
That's what those dotted lines are. That's where the cameras are. All right, let's go back down and see if the elevator is accessible.
So,
I mean, worst case scenario, we could climb up out of it, maybe.
an elevator, yes, an elevator. Phoenix says.
Boom.
Yeah, so you head back down the stairs to the token booth area, and sure enough, into this alcove that is just to the west, or east,
Swear to
rather.
God, if you make me roll a climb.
There is, and there is a closed elevator doors to the far end of this alcove.
Right.
See,
help
it's
me-
right there.
Help me pry this open.
Okay. And I'll pry it open with my hands because I'm strong.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so you managed to, actually, it's relatively easy to pry it open with the two of you working.
Because I'm strong.
And Choo Choo is at the side, just sort of, directing you. No, lean down a little bit. Pippa, you're doing it all wrong. Just, pull in one direction, let him pull in the, oh, God, you kids these days. All right, well, just, do your best.
Roy, as soon as we get in, shut the door.
And the elevator doors open with a reluctant screech to reveal an elevator shaft
Oh, my.
that leads
In
up
the elevator?
about 15 feet before blocked off by a concrete. and plummets down, down, down into darkness. The car long ago removed.
Or a burning ring of fire. One of each.
One of each. There is no cable. Obviously, the car and the cable have been removed when they sealed it off. And there is simply a simple iron rung ladder set into one side of the wall, leading down.
Oh boy!
And actually leading up to the concrete. But any luck?
No more concrete.
Fucking figures. Is there any way down?
I mean, it just goes down.
Oh, God.
You want to take a dive?
Not particularly, but hey, do you guys hear that?
From the elevator shaft or behind us?
And you hear 3 loud booms on the door leading back to the ramp. And you hear a voice say, "So, friends of Charles Blaine have finally arrived." And we'll head back to Rocky and Maria.
No, see,
do
it wasn't
exist.
Charles.
So, you're looking at Diamond Dave's emaciated and tortured and plundered body. And he's making this terrible noise from his tongueless mouth. And Maria hits the landing right behind you. Oh my God. Who is that?
This was Diamond Dave, a local who was helping me gather information and didn't turn out too well for him. I advise you to turn away and plug your ears. This might get a little bit loud in a concrete tunnel.
What are you going to do?
Pull the gun out, put it between his eyes, and pull the trigger.
And as you do so, and actually as you speak to Maria and say his name, he begins nodding furiously, and he raises his arm and points his stump at the wall to your right.
Well, it appears he has something to tell us. I'm going to pull the gun back, and I'm going to take my phone, and I'm going to shine it up and over to the wall he was pointing at.
And you see the wall to your right has been breached, a brick wall. And there is a short sort of, how do you say short? Not high. A narrow, rough-hewn tunnel beyond this brick facade. It almost looks as if something had originally burst out of the tunnel into this space. The bricks are laying in such a way that that's what it appears. Something had erupted from this tunnel and revealed it, and it disappears into the darkness. And you're pretty sure you can hear receding footfalls.
I thank you for your service, and I really hate to leave you like this.
And he begins nodding furiously.
I'm gonna say, once again, I point at Maria, plug your ears,
And she does so.
and you might want to
Turns away.
Right, middle, dead center of his forehead, and I'm gonna just pull the trigger.
And he expires. No more Diamond Dave.
Boys to bop.
City Pop.
Bye, Dave.
And Maria once again puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "You had no choice. That was the merciful thing to do."
It's the price that we pay in this business. Now,
Let's make them pay.
Oh, precisely what I was thinking. You know, there are footfalls heading in that direction. We might want to play catch up.
Rocky says, plug your
Right
ears.
behind you.
I'm gonna flashlight and gun up and start power walking down the tunnel.
What? I'm working on it.
I'm gonna mall walk down the tunnel.
Nice. Let's go.
So you don't want to run because you want to be able to like.
That's right.
All right. So
Speed walk.
at this stage, I'm going to need, as you're giving chase.
Oh, not again.
Drive auto.
No. We're
I'm not rolling
doing
drive auto. God damn it!
We're not doing a chase sequence, but I do need
Oh, thank
Rocky
God.
to make an intelligence roll, please.
I don't mind the chase sequences. I don't like driving.
I needed a 60. I rolled a 43. That's a success.
Awesome. So let's talk this out, you and I.
Come on, Gabe.
So
I need you to leave the room.
as you are in obviously hot pursuit of probably Marigold Odobrati and potentially the thing you saw take the scepter, you begin to ask yourself, why would Marigold Odobrati and or Jason Windflower want the scepter intact? I mean, it would have been very easy for Tomislav to have destroyed it if that was their intent.
True, it could be used to destroy them, but maybe it could also alternately be used in another way that would help them.
Mm-hmm. For sure, like that, it does seem as if they want to, at the very least, keep it secured away from meddling hands like yours, or meddling mattresses like Roy's. But also something occurs to you that maybe isn't quite as obvious, and that is if they need to keep it intact for whatever reason, maybe the power isn't the wielding of the artifact, but the destruction of it.
Smart.
Is that why Charles might have left it behind? To sort of charge up before eventually discharging it here in New York City, whether it was carried by Samantha Blaine or that was his hope. And Maria behind you says, Are you okay? You're so quiet.
Just thinking, if that artifact is some sort of weapon that Charles was planning on using to destroy these things, wouldn't it be easier for them to just destroy it themselves, thereby nullifying it?
Yes,
But
but
they're trying so hard to keep it intact instead.
that is odd. Where did you say you found this?
Underneath the manor, very deep underneath the manor, in a sealed glass case that, when breached, caused the house to explode or implode into said pit in which the staff was located.
So Charles was charging this up. Charles in charge. Charles was attempting. Now, do you happen to know if this Blaine Manor was it on ley lines by any chance?
Yes, in fact, it was.
Well, that explains it. That ley lines where they cross is a site of power and can sometimes infuse certain objects of mysticism with either dark or good energy. And if what you're saying is true, then I think we need to get that scepter and destroy it before they're allowed to change the polarity of the energies to their bent. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It's a different angle from thinking than I'm used to, but
Well, I don't mean to
believe I'm
alarm
picking
you.
up what you're putting down, as the kids say.
Well, thank you. I don't mean to alarm you, but I sense a presence.
Santa?
I think Pippa is not far away. We need to hurry.
Pick up the pace it is.
All right.
And
So
go from mall walking to lightly jogging.
nice.
It's pronounced jogging.
Yogging.
Or going from mall walking to lightly yogging.
As long as
Okay.
you're not frogging.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't
You
frog.
got the market on that.
No, but I am flogging.
Molly?
That's fine.
The dolphin?
Yeah.
Foggy Molly. All right, so you're going to hustle your way.
We're going to do the hustle.
We're never going to get there.
Say something else that we can make fun of.
Cheese sticks.
So as you
Jeez.
move through this tunnel, this rough-hewn tunnel, after some time, it does open up into a larger chamber at one point. And this chamber appears at first to be just a hollowed out section of cavern that maybe had even been formed naturally, pockets of gas and that sort of thing, until you see a skeletal arm protruding from one of the walls covered in limestone. And Maria looks at it and says, this must have been a cemetery at some point.
I mean, the arm sticking out of the wall would make sense if this was at one point a burial ground of sorts.
And have you noticed that the floor is sloping down? We seem to be descending deeper underground.
I mean, if we're heading to a subway station, which I'm assuming that's where everyone is going, it would make sense for us to be going down.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, let's keep going. And she shoves you.
Damn sandwich artists.
Long live the king.
And you guys continue on your subterranean journey, and so we'll head back to Roy and Pippa.
Secret tunnel.
You guys, were you expecting company?
Really funny. I say we try the elevator shaft. And I'm going to grab onto the first rung, kind of test it to see how sturdy it feels. Because I know iron
It
can
snaps.
easily rust through after 80 some years.
So yeah, you reach over and test it, and as best as you can tell, it seems to be pretty solid and anchored.
All right. Like, guys, I'm going down. I'm not going to get... It's not going to happen to me. And I'm going to just swing all the way over and trust it and start to go down the rung ladder.
Okay. Roy?
Choo go, then I'll come up the rear and make it easy.
Choo-choo
All
right
right.
at the...
Oh, sure. You want me to go first so I can look up at your butt the whole way? That makes perfect sense.
Why wouldn't you want to
brought
look
that
at his
up.
butt the whole way?
Oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
Got some-
What am I complaining
Hey,
Got some cake back there, man.
why does it look like two shiny red apples?
I said I'd be coming up the rear.
What?
about? Oh,
Okay.
Hey,
I
now.
got
Yeah, we saved that for the Lovecraft.
There
tapes
goes
after
the
dark.
innuendos and right to the point.
innuendos.
Keep it in your pants
And-
for now.
And so, very carefully, Choo Choo does hang on to the. And actually, once he gets onto the ladder, he seems to be pretty stable. But he's being a little careful going down, and Pippa goes quite a bit faster. Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, I have a pretty decent climb, actually.
Nice. So yeah, maybe you help Choo Choo a little bit along the way. Maybe he stumbles here and there, and
Because I keep stepping on his fingers.
yeah, oh, son of a bitch! What are you doing? Watch
Sorry,
where
I
you
just got
clumsy
lost in
ox.
your ass cheeks. Forgot to keep moving.
I like to take the scenic route. You know what I'm saying? I'm going slow.
It's been many years since I felt the touch of a man.
Oh. So you guys descend, and it seems to take quite some time before you're all able to reach the bottom. But you do so. It's not a terrible climb, and the rung ladder is in decent shape. And you find yourself in a very dark, cavernous tunnel at the bottom. And just as Roy leaps the last couple rungs onto the ground next to you and brushes himself off, you hear splintering wood echoing from down the elevator shaft as you hear the door to the station explode inward, followed by several howling sounds and heavy footsteps that begin to come closer, and you hear that same voice say, "You're kitty, kitty, kitties."
It's Megan the Stallion.
Yep, I knew it.
I think we should probably get moving here.
Can I have your autograph?
Yeah, let's get going. You gonna keep up, old timer?
Yeah, I do my best. I think maybe we head off in this direction. I'm pretty sure that's back the way towards Grand Central, roughly speaking.
Just because I can't help it, I'm still a businesswoman. I'm going to leave one of my business cards at the bottom of the elevator.
If you're ever looking for another abandoned station, please call me. And you guys strike off into the darkness.
True.
True. Except for Roy, he stays back.
Oh,
And so I think what we'll do is we'll have Rocky and Maria sitting in a tree.
Oh,
Oh,
snap.
snap. I choose
You
you.
suck.
I choose you. And so you guys have been following for quite some time and going from the tunnel that narrows to more of those wide open spaces. So much so that it's beginning to be a bit unnerving each time you go into this enlarged area, because you know that you're probably going to be seeing some shattered skulls embedded in the walls, and even as you go, you begin to notice bits of shattered bones that have been picked clean and gnawed on. And Maria is keeping as close to you as she possibly can. She seems to be becoming a bit more nervous as you're going along. But you got your Walter PPK in hand, so you're good to go.
Yep.
And eventually, the corridor takes a hard left.
How hard?
Like, what, 69? No, I don't know. Say that. So pretty hard. 90
Keep
degree.
that for the after dark.
Yeah, 90-degree angle, just like.
That wouldn't even be that hard of an
Okay.
angle, honestly.
Yeah, it's an easy angle.
Gabe's seen harder angles than that.
Oh yeah.
So it turns left, and which is unusual because it was meandering, but it was pretty straight line for the most part. And so you feel as if it's coming to a close, and you hear scuffling sounds just around the bend.
Who's band?
Gonna stop for a moment and just look back to Maria and put my finger up to my lips, give her the sign.
Quiet!
And I'm going to
And she nods.
And I'm going to just kind of crouch down a bit and very slowly inch my way up and try and like point my flashlight and my gun around the corner.
And you do
We're
so.
here.
You see only about 30 yards away, the corridor opens up into yet another large chamber. And Marigold Odebrati is standing right in the middle. You've caught up to her. And her companion, a gray dog creature, sort of squatted down next to her haunches. And she whirls around as you flash the flashlight. And you see she has the scepter in her hand.
Yes.
Simultaneously, 20 yards beyond her, 3 figures enter the chamber at a different mouth opening, and you see Roy, Choo Choo, who did you ever meet Choo Choo? I don't think you did. An old man, Roy and an old man, and Pippa. And you hear howls coming from behind them. And Marigold smiles at you slowly and says, I believe Mr. Windflower would like a word.
And then I shoot her.
What's the word?
Tune in next time as we play another reel
Bird.
of the Lovecraft tapes.
Whew.
All right, guys, it's time for some recommendos where we share our latest geeky obsessions. Please roll D100.
It's 94.
18.
Ah, yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting there.
Get there. Nice.
15.
Okay. So looks like, Matt, you're going to start us off. Then we'll go Gabe, Brian, and me.
Woohoo.
Woo-hoo.
Excited for this one tonight. I've been just got my hands on a game that I've been waiting for a while, and Brian and I have been spending some time with it.
Ooh.
And I'm really happy to say that if you're like me and you're a big fan of looter shooters and you enjoyed Borderlands, that you should definitely give Tiny Tina's Wonderlands a shot. It is a more or less a Borderlands spin-off starring Tiny Tina from the other Borderlands games. The premise being that you are stuck with Tiny Tina, and being stuck as you are, she decides to make you play a game of Bunkers and Badasses, which is the Borderlands universe equivalent of Dungeons and Dragons. So it becomes the story of you and two other people you're stuck with working with Tina as she lays out this whole fantasy adventure. And what's really great about it is that it retains a lot of the humor of the Borderlands series. So not only now do you have characters making fun of the tropes of video games, but you also have them latching on to some of the tropes of tabletop role-playing games and Dungeons and Dragons as well. And it's just a really fun take on the Borderlands series that keeps all the good stuff from the mainline games, but brings enough brand new flavor and adventure to make it a standalone game that's totally worth its own salt.
I love salt.
All right. What was the name of that?
It's called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Wonderland.
It's very fun.
Cool. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Matt.
And funny.
We'll check that out. And Gabe, you're up next.
I'm going to recommend one of my favorite shows of all time. Interestingly enough, two shows that I would consider of my favorites of all time are mocks of talk shows on Adult Swim. And this is one of them. This is the Eric Andre Show. The other one is Space Ghost Coast to Coast. The Eric Andre Show is like a surrealist nightmare of a show, pretty much. I love it. It's one of those loud equals funny type shows. Watching him catch all these celebrities as off guard as possible is really just a joy to me. Like, he basically tries to isolate them and make them as completely uncomfortable as possible. Like when he records a talk show, he does it in a smelly, hot room with no audience and just tries to, and he says that he basically interviews them for like 3 hours to get 11 minutes worth of content out of it, and he just tries to beat them down and make them as uncomfortable and raw as possible to get their honest personality out of them. And and then he has these sketches in between, and it's just all around a just joy to watch if you like that kind of thing. For me, one of the most underrated things that he does on the show is at the end of each episode, he has just a hilarious music joke. Like he has like the Supremes playing with a death metal band and stuff like that. And then he has like a recurring thing where he has like rappers trying to rap as they compete on like a Wipeout style course, and he's shocking them with a stun gun. And it's such a great show, and it's just, I think as popular as it is completely underrated because there are just so many people that have never seen it, probably just simply because it's on Adult Swim. So that's the Eric Andre Show. I know it's on Hulu because they have that deal with Adult Swim. So check that out.
Cool. I will. Thank you.
Shock.
Nice. Brian, you are up next.
Mine's pretty much the exact same as Gabe's, except it's different.
Oh, it's the Eric Andre stand-up.
It's a product. It's a Wagner airless paint sprayer, the 130 Pro. And it is the best thing that has ever changed my life. I build sets for a living, for stage production. And I tested this out today. I have to paint 4 foot by 8 foot flats, about 1 million of them every year. And it takes me roughly 5 to 8 minutes per flat to roll it out with a roller. And you get crap in the roller, and you have to go through and pick all the pieces out and all that junk. This thing took me less than a minute to paint an entire wall. And all I had to do, if I had it all set up, is paint the one wall, move to the next wall, move to the next wall. I would have been done in less than 10 minutes painting the entire wall set. So very excited to finish painting the current production that I'm working on. And in the future, it's going to save me so much time and so much headache having to clean paint trays and waste roller covers and paint brushes. You can just spray it on. So check out if you need to paint your house or anything like that, this also gives you perfect coat, and you can get different nozzles that just slide in and lock, and it allows you to get different spray patterns. So you can go from like a 3-inch spray pattern all the way up to, I think, 18-inch spray pattern. So the paint will come out in an 18-inch swath on your wall. Very little overspray. It's because there's no air pushing it. It's airless. So it's just the pump feed of pumping the paint. And you pour directly, latex paint can go directly into the hopper, right through the hose onto the wall. You don't need to thin it or anything. Don't need to strain it. So definitely try it out. If you have any projects at home, it's right on the verge of being a pro setup, like something that actual house painters that do it as a job would come through and use, but a little bit easier to clean. It's lighter, it's plastic. So, but check it out. It's the Wagner Airless Paint 130 Pro.
All right, nice, cool. Yeah,
It was fun.
I'll have you come over and paint my fence this summer. So
That's what I'm gonna do with mine with it. Yeah, I'll do it.
do it. Do it.
Take me 11 minutes.
Paint. All right.
Do you?
I'll pay you for 11 minutes.
You can do everything though. You can do stains. They've got different tips that'll do like real fluid, or if you have a lot of viscosity, they have tips that'll open up and let it flow.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. You can do stucco with it. I thought that was crazy. You can literally spray stucco with this gun.
That's nuts.
So
All right, cool. Well, thanks, Brian. We'll check that out. And I'm going last, and my recommended tonight is for a board game. I've sort of not. This wasn't really on my radar initially, but I read some reviews, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna just spring for it. This is Alien: Fate of the Nostromo. It is developed by Ravensburger, the guys who did Jaws, the board game, which I also really like. I just love the mechanics of it. In this one, each player assumes the role of Ripley, Dallas, Lambert, Brett, or Parker. It takes place shortly after Kane's death when he dies from the chestburster. That's sort of where the action begins, where the crew is hunting down the alien.
yeah.
Ash, if you remember the science officer, who is the robot, essentially, as a character, he's relegated to the sidelines as a mostly absent NPC. If you want to crank up the difficulty, there is a mode where you can actually insert him, and he kind of just steals your supplies. That's kind of all he does. But he's there if you do want to crank up the difficulty mode. After that, you're dealt out some objective cards, and it requires the players to move around the board and pick up different equipment using a limited amount of actions each turn, and usually deliver those equipment that you pick up to a certain spot, another spot in the ship. And as you complete these objectives, once you've completed all those simple objectives, then you flip over the card that is your main mission. And there's a whole set of other objectives on that.
Oh, cool.
And if you're able to complete the main mission, then you basically are able to either escape the ship or kill the alien or whatever. The alien itself doesn't not really attack you. Each round, the player has to deliver these cards that will indicate that the alien is stalking you and pops out occasionally. But otherwise, it just moves around and does certain actions based on what the cards tell it to do. And if it pops up in your space, then you have to run away 3 spaces. And it doesn't really do much other than what they call eroding your morale. So it's there's no damage to take. There's this one main counter that has a morale and it seeps away as time goes by. But you pick up equipment to actually combat this, and so what I like about it is that it's very simple. The mechanics are very simple, but it's effective. So because the morale is slowly eroding, you get the impression that time is running out and that you need to, do these objectives as best you can and get away from the creature. And also you can defend against the creature and push him back into the nest and that sort of thing. It's not a really difficult game unless you want to introduce that Ash character. But what I really like about it is that it takes very little time to play. I think we cranked out one game in about 30 minutes. So,
oh wow.
Even the first one where we were still sort of learning the mechanics and everything, it took less than an hour for that first one. So
yeah.
And I guess really what Ravensburger is good at is the design, and the flavor really captures the spirit of the movie. So that's if you're looking for just a quick play, even with just 2 players, Alien: Fate of the Nostromo is a pretty good buy. It's not super expensive either. So check that out.
Yeah, I really like Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws is fun. It's just kind of cool, like how the shark can move around, and one of the players could be the shark, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you prefer. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review, just like Harold did. 5 stars, 10 out of 10. Meanwhile, you can find us at lovecrafttapes.com with links to all our socials, including Discord, a Reddit, a YouTube, a Twitch, and a much more. You can find me on Twitter at lovecrafttapes.
And if anyone else has any fun stories about secret tunnels, I want to hear all about your secret tunnels on Twitter at The Real Weird Kid.
Oh, phew.
And if anybody wants to talk about how strong I am for opening that elevator shaft, you can find me at Lovecraft Gabe.
You guys can reach me at Brian Podcasts, but I'd like to have you shout out on Discord, if you could. All that support I'm going to need to cast my first spell. Help me get that spell out.
Mm-hmm. Until next time, roll 4. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my good time gal.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. T-Flip Rex, Obsidian Phoenix, Chiru.
Thank you.
Who else was there?
Thanks for showing
Frilled
up,
Shark
everyone.
was
We
there.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Good
appreciate
luck,
it.
Streambot was
guys.
there. Wait.
Spell out. OUT out. All right, guys. Have a